All right, welcome everybody back to Show Me What I've Been Missing. I am one of your hosts, Chris Mack, and I'm here with
Elizabeth, your other host.
yes, and we are covering today season 1, episode 11, The Drought.
The Drought.
The Drought. Okay,
AKA Carrie is crazy.
first of all, not just Carrie, all of them are crazy in this episode. Like it was the most.
There's some wild
They were
shit.
all a little bit nuts. Samantha was losing her shit. Miranda lost her shit. Although
Hers
her
is
little freak out
defensible.
was,
I can
freak out
explain
is
it. Yeah.
no. I sided with her.
Yeah.
I actually liked her freak out because it also was like a kind of a gangster move on how her freak out was. So I give her a little bit of a break. But all of them low key freaked out in this episode, and it's so funny because well, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Because okay, this episode could be considered problematic because it kind of paints women as like these control freaks, and like when the control is not in their court, like in the sex game, they kind of lose their minds.
Yeah.
But I do think there's a little bit of truth to it because I don't think that women handle rejection as well as men do. But that's just that's my.
You could argue that I think because there's a sense that guys can just go out and get another girl that they don't care about. I think it gets taken personally if you're rejected.
Okay.
I know I have felt that way.
Okay.
Like it's me, and like it might have been, but could be other things. But also, it's me.
Right.
And I think because, especially in the scenarios in this episode, Carrie's putting in like a ton of effort, probably too much, but like, so the work feels rejected,
Yeah. Well,
so
see,
it feels
that's
more
the thing
personal.
too, is like like her whole interaction with Mr. Big, who I hate to say it. I hate to say it. I'm mad, but like low key, I kind of fucks with him in this episode because like he wasn't entirely of an asshole. You know what I mean?
In the beginning, when they're all cuddly and sweet in bed, and she farts and she's all embarrassed, and then the next day he puts the whoopee cushion under her and laughs. I was like, that's actually really like cute and funny. I would like be totally charmed by that, even if I was embarrassed. Because
like, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. Because when my boyfriend in college, when Facebook had those like groups you could join that had like really goofy long names. I realized at one point he was in a group called Girls Don't Poop, and if they did it would smell like flowers. And I was like, oh no, I have terrible news for him. Because one time I farted so bad in front of my brother, he looked at me and said, if you were a dude, I would have punched you for that. So moral of the story is I have like GI problems that have gone undiagnosed this entire time.
If your parts induce violence, yes.
yeah.
If they bring in rage enough to like, a man would punch his own sister in the face
for a really nasty fart. So I heard hang up on like, oh, I can't fart in front of him is ridiculous. I mean, Samantha doesn't help her by going like, although Samantha has a point when she's like, you can't be human in front of dudes, because there are dudes who are totally dumb and weird about like anything natural to do with a woman. Like Samantha mentions tampons. Yeah, there are guys who are like, don't understand how periods work, and when like they see a tampon, they're like, what the hell? Oh god, oh no. So
some pussy ass dudes, that's what the fuck that is. Some pussy ass motherfucker. You can't handle a little bit of blood, fucking grow up.
Yeah.
I mean, I say a little bit, it's a lot, but still, grow up.
It depends.
Put a towel down, bitch. Do it in the shower, you little fucking pussy. Can't handle a little bit of blood. Get the fuck out of here, cuz.
Seriously.
Listen, I don't prefer to have sex with a woman on her period, but like, I really want it and I want it. Let's do this shit. What's good?
If everybody's on board, who cares?
Yeah. Listen, just don't do no weird shit by like trying to like make me go down on you while you got your period. I'm like, all right. That's where I draw the line. I'm like, all right, you wildin' now. No, I low-key had a girl one time that like
Really?
didn't tell me she was on her period, and I went down there and like,
oh no,
it didn't get in. But you know, like, because blood has a smell.
yeah,
Like it has like a metallic like smell, and I smelled. I was like, "Are you on your period?" She's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Bitch, you weren't gonna tell me."
That's like a health hazard thing. That's like, not safe.
I got the fuck up out of there real quick.
Yeah.
Because I know, like, in the grand scheme of things, is it harmful? Like, is it gonna kill me?
But
like,
it's not great for you either. I don't think.
You know what I'm saying? They'd be like, if I wanted you to like go down on me, but I just came from the gym, that's nasty. Yeah. That's nasty. It ain't no love shit. That's like, you nasty, bro.
Show up clean and prepared if you can.
Yeah, for sure. But then the whole fart thing, like I think most guys, like it does it does mess with us a little bit.
Sure.
In the sense of like because like the thing about farts in general, like when you're attracted to somebody, you see this person as like this beautiful creature, you know what I mean? And then like a fart comes in, like, oh yeah, that's right, you are a person.
You're a human. Like, oh no.
But I don't think it kills any of the magic.
No, but she is like psycho hung up on it. She asked all three friends in different scenarios what to do.
Been though, because literally he was like, he did that sweet move of putting the whoopee cushion, like he like made a joke out of it, like, look, it's okay, I still like you, like I still want to be around you, you know what I mean? Like that's a very
it's so endearing, like yeah,
absolutely. And that's why I was like, okay, I'm kind of fucking with Mr. Big.
I was like, oh,
pretty cute. That was pretty cute. Like he could have easily freaked out or whatever, but like I guess because they didn't have sex for several occasions after
that she was like, oh god.
But like I think honestly, I don't think that was him though, because like the way that she was freaking out on it, I think like because that's the thing too, like okay, maybe
he turned her down one night, and then we didn't see the other.
I think scenarios. But the thing about it is like I don't think he turned her down because he wasn't really in the mood. I think he turned her. I mean, maybe he was because like sometimes guys we're not in the mood. Contrary to popular belief, every woman out there thinks that we're like basically 80% hard all day, but that's not the case. If it was, we'd be 13, and that's a problem. So maybe don't mess with that. But like the thing about it is like I don't think he turned her down because like he wasn't attracted to her in a sense, or he wasn't. I mean, he may not have been a boob, but I also think that like it's because it wasn't authentic. Yeah. So my thing about it was like I don't think he rejected her because he wasn't attracted to her. Like she was freaking out about it. I think he was rejected because of how she was trying to like do it. You know what I mean? She was like trying to force something that wasn't really there. And guys, we feel that shit subconsciously too. Like when we know when a woman is like, or not when a woman, we know like, if we're getting down, like we know like when you're just doing it for us and when you're doing it for both of us, and you can kind of feel like most guys will probably fight through that.
But it's not like that attractive to be like, oh, she's just desperate. Like I mean that was what the argument was when she showed up and he's like, well, I'm watching the fight, and then she's like all over him, but it's so like you're saying,
annoyingly
it's so fake and annoyingly fake, and she's not listening to him saying, I don't want this right now, I am trying to watch this thing, and she's all offended, and then she flips out and is like, I guess I'm not perfect enough for you, and he must have been like, what the fuck is happening?
And that's the thing too, is because like anytime, and that's the thing too, like socially, like anytime if a guy's like, hey, I wasn't really in the mood, and like well, how you know, now you know what a girl feels like. Like, all right, take it out. Like, all right, just take it easy.
It does happen.
I know, but it does happen with us from time to time. And
also, if she had waited, he might have been down after the fight. Doesn't that shit get dudes?
I mean, look, from the clips that they were showing at the fight, it looked like that fight was about over. Old dude was getting his ass. So if she'd have waited like 2 more minutes, you probably could have got some dick. But
she might have had a shot.
Like, I need it right now. I need you to prove to me right now that I'm okay and that you still love me, and you need to put it inside me right now.
Her flip out about not being perfect. On TikTok, the piece of audio that's going around for some things. You remember Dumb and Dumber when they're arguing and he's like, well, I'm sorry, I'm not Mr. Perfect. I guess you've never made a mistake. And then that music starts. That's what it made me think of when she's like flipping out like that. I'm sorry, I'm not perfect. Bitch, he's not perfect either, you crazy broad.
100%. Like, yeah,
you know,
that's the thing.
yeah.
Because usually he's the one gaslighting her and
Yeah.
you know, like sending her into a frenzy. But she low key sent herself into this own frenzy because like she was reading into things that weren't really there because he was just trying to watch the game. Also, too, it's not like he was expecting you to come over. She popped up. She just called him up and say, "Hey, I'm coming over," and he was like, "Oh, okay, I guess that's what's happening." Like, you know what I mean? Like, he invited herself over. He wasn't prepared. It wasn't like they set it aside. Like, hey,
he wasn't like, get dolled up and come over for the fight. It was like, oh, okay, sure. I mean, I am watching the fight, but yeah, go ahead and come on over because he probably, again, after the fight, would have been like, let's get it on. Right. But oh no, she had to do it right that instant, right there, right now.
And this is the, like I said, again, I hate to say it, but I was feeling him on this episode because she was like, you know, did the 10-second wait for him to come after her. He was like, nah. And I wouldn't either. I wouldn't come after that. Yeah, I'm like, you came over to my crib acting a fool and I'm the asshole? Like, nah, bro. Like, and that's the thing too, because like, even because she was trying, it was like 3 attempts. She came over the first time trying to kiss him. He was like, "Oh, honey, I'm watching it." And then like the second time, he's like, "Honey, please, I want to see this." And then she got on him again. He was like, "Get the fuck off!"
Yeah, like, what the fuck are you doing?
Why you acting like a little spider monkey?
No means no both ways, everybody. Like, not to make light of that or undermine it, but like he's saying no. Like
he said, politely too.
Politely, yeah. If someone tells you no, the answer is no. Like. I hate. I'm not trying.
Maybe he should have been more upfront instead of trying to be nice. You know, if he'd have been more stern, you know, she would have gotten the hint.
Right? Yeah. Oh, how the tables turned. No, not really. But yeah.
No, she was lunching on this episode, and that's the thing too. When it comes to a situation like this, I never understand why. I don't know. I don't think men do this, but I could be wrong. But I never understand why women ask other women about men. They're never about men advice.
You're just looking for field experience that maybe you don't have. I know
but she would have been better off going to like Stanford about this. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a guy that sleeps with men. He's dealing with men all the time. Like, some of them may be a little bit effeminate or whatever, but they're still men.
Still dudes, yeah.
They're still dudes. So like, he would probably give her better advice on like what a dude is thinking than Carrie, or like not Carrie, Samantha or Miranda. Like,
she might have also.
I understand. Samantha's kind of got her hand on the pulse of like men because she low-key is one with tits anyway. In a lot of ways, not all the ways, but like, again. Ask your guy friends about guys. Like, if I had, like, when you know, anytime I've ever had a problem with dating or some shit like that, I always ask a girlfriend because I'm like, okay, you know, and I know all women are different, but at least I can get into the mind. Because like sometimes if I'm wrong, talking to a woman helps me figure out how wrong I was and where I went wrong. And I'm like, oh shit, I never saw it that way because I'm not a woman. That's why I don't ask guys about women. You know what I'm saying? I might complain to my guy friends about a girl, I'm saying, just because like guy complains, we can commiserate. But like advice wise, I'm going to my girlfriends. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. That's smart. Yeah.
Yeah. So I never understood that. Like, you can't ask a, you know, like, I can't, you know what I mean? Like, I can't, like, if me and you were having beef about some shit like that, I can't go to my guys like, why is she acting like this? Because he's gonna be like, because she's crazy.
She's crazy, bitch. She's a crazy bitch. That's
crazy.
Why.
Go women, crazy.
You wanna go get wings and beer? I don't know what guys do in their spare time.
And that's why I would ask you if I was having beef with like one of my homeboys. I would be like, what you think?
I'd be like, I think he's really going through it, Chris. I don't really know. You're like, no, he's not. He's being an asshole. But yeah, I think also maybe in a way she wanted to not know the truth.
What do you think? What do you mean?
If she had asked a guy friend about the scenario.
Oh yeah.
Because like Miranda told her to not worry, and Miranda was 100% right.
Right.
You know, and basically told her, you're being a nut job about this.
Yeah, a little bit.
Let it go. Samantha fed into her panic about it.
She did.
And then she didn't even bring up the fart to Charlotte, because I think Charlotte would have done the same, because, you know, If girls don't poop, Charlotte definitely doesn't poop, I guess.
Oh, dude, you know Charlotte. Charlotte, the kind of girl is like if her and her man are staying in a hotel, she'd rent the room out across the hall so she can go over there and fart or take a shit. Like it would never happen. It would never happen to fucking Charlotte. She wouldn't let it happen. Like I don't even know she's talking about.
You know what's funny though?
That shit.
Without spoiling anything, in the movie, she shits her pants.
Oh.
But it's like years from this point in time. But it's
a little bit more growth. Okay.
Yeah. But it's funny to think like she's definitely the one like who would truly never fart. Like she would like blow out her own fucking colon.
Right.
In that fart.
That shit in. She'd let that shit come out of her fucking eyeballs before
before she ever farted in front of a dude.
Fuck yeah. Well, you know, and that kind of brings me, not it doesn't bring me, but I wanted to talk about this because like I actually like what Carrie said because like at the beginning of the show she was talking about like them sleeping together and then them sleeping together, and there is a difference between sleeping together and then because one is to guys is more intimate than the other, and I don't know how it is for women, but like a woman sleeping over or sleeping in your bed. To some guys, it's like a way more of a intimacy.
Oh, I think because there's a huge difference between like sleeping, like you have sex and you fall asleep together, and like truly just like snuggling down and getting sleepy, which I think is like super sweet and romantic, and I love it. But
see, that's what I'm saying. God, to us, it's like if we're just having sex with a woman, we don't. Like a lot of guys won't.
You don't want that
sleep
part.
Over, they don't want to sleep over and shit like that because that's more of an intimate thing.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. That's like a thing that couples do. You know what I'm saying. So it's like and that's especially if they didn't get none. Hell, I can't get none, and you want to stay over? No, you going to fuck up.
No.
I mean, you know it's true.
Yeah, I mean,
look, okay. Look at the women in this episode. They weren't getting on. They were like, all right, I'm out of here. Fuck this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They're like, peace out.
Yeah.
Catch you on the flip-flop.
When you listen, if you horny and you expecting to get some and then you don't, like, listen, it throws your rhythm off. You got to get up out of there. It's like being in a bad fight. If the guy's got too many good jabs, you got to gotta get out of there. Oh, man. But I love that they brought that up because that is a difference. Between having sex with somebody than just sleeping over, because you can have sex with somebody, but them sleeping over is like it means something else to some people. Like they don't give a fuck, they're like whatever. But like it's also weird too because like you know a person, because like that's the thing too, like some guys will like maybe let a girl sleep over but then like the next morning kind of expect her to leave,
so you gonna go or
right, because they just like hanging out, like having breakfast and shit like that. That's a whole nother level of intimacy that you know people don't really understand or really look at, but it is, man, because like essentially yes, you brought this person into your home, but like them staying over and shit like that, like that's a whole nother different context of you know romance, I guess, for lack of better words. And some people ain't ready for that. Some people don't like it.
And that's fair.
Yeah, like I literally had a girl freak out on me just because I stayed over, but like I was or because or because was it me? Yeah, I stayed over, but like I mean, it was 4:30 in the morning. I didn't think of it as like
a little early to send you on your way.
I was like, I can't get like an hour, bitch.
Yeah, at least let the sun start to come up. Fuck.
Let me get an hour. Like first of all, it's 4:30 in the morning. We've been talking all night. I just had a nut. I can't be driving right now. I'm all kinds of delirious and fucked up. You might as well gave me 6 shots and told me to go drive right now.
You didn't have post-nut clarity?
Nah, I was going. At 4, listen, first of all,
delirium.
I was already exhausted from talking all night. We were hanging out. We started hanging out at 9:30. This was 4:30 in the morning. So we started like getting it in at 4.
Oh,
like hanging out all night. Like, yeah, your boy was tired. I didn't even know if I was even going to get in there. I was about ready to go home and call it a night. And then it happened. I was like, all right, cool. And she was like, so, you going to stay? I was like, I kind of thought I was going to get like a couple hours.
I was like,
we ain't going to have breakfast or nothing like that. I was like, what, you can't get a nap? She was like, nah, I'm not really looking for. I was like, all right, I'm out. It was a hard drive home, not because I got kicked out, but because it was 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah,
post nut tired. Post nut tired. I mean, women don't understand. Literally, a life force is drained from us. Like literally, what comes out of us is alive. There's life force
that's
driven out of our body. Like we're done. But listen, y'all might have multiple orgasms, but I know ours feel better because literally life is coming out.
Like, that's so profound and yet so gross.
It is definitely those two things. It's profound and gross. Which is how I live my life. Profound.
But that's life, isn't it? Life is profound and disgusting. All I mean,
sex in general is kind of gross if you break it down to like it on a scientific level.
Yeah,
it's like
yeah. And yet it's it can be a magical, wonderful thing.
It is true, and we still want it.
Yeah.
It's like all the bitches in this episode because they were. All the women in this episode were horned up. Like I had never seen them this horny. Even Charlotte was like,
Charlotte was like, get that dick in me. I was like, Charlotte. I was bracing myself. So when she was having dinner with Carrie and Carrie's meeting the boyfriend, it's Kevin and it's somebody Carrie used to sleep with.
Okay, now I have to ask because man, I've never experienced anything like that per se. I mean, like I guess
I haven't either.
Well, here's the thing. I have low-key because like but I don't know. I guess because I feel like most of my guy friends, like there's been women that like me and a guy have been with, but like we knew it about it. It wasn't like a surprise thing. It wasn't like, oh, I showed up with this girl and she's like, hey, person. Like, you know what I mean? So like I was gonna ask you how would you navigate that?
It's funny. I think they navigate it pretty well. I think it seems since Carrie told her it wasn't serious, and it clearly wasn't because it wasn't even a guy she like brought around the girlfriends.
Right.
So I think Carrie and Charlotte have a lot of trust in each other in that sense to not get too hung up on like the girl code. You shouldn't date someone's ex. Da 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 da. I think that applies more if you're in like a tight circle and you're like. It almost feels more high school in a way, if you're in like a weird, like tight friend group and like one couple breaks up, but then another gets together and everybody's friends. I just didn't get that sense from this scenario. So I think, Charlotte's like, I don't really, I really like him. I don't really give a fuck that you used to sleep with him, especially because you clearly aren't into him now. I think Charlotte probably felt more secure because Carrie is dating someone seriously too. I was about
to ask that, like if she was single, do you think she would have been like?
If she was single, she might have been a little more like on edge, but Charlotte felt secure in the relationship with the guy too, so she just wanted to know like in private intel that maybe he wasn't giving, then she really was turning to her girlfriend to ask for guy advice, but Carrie happened to know the guy pretty well. But then
kudos to Carrie too. She didn't try to like lie about it or like that. She straight up told her like, we dated. That's the thing. Like,
and that's the best.
The awkward meeting, she was like, we dated.
And that's the best policy. Like that, like just instead of trying to be like, oh well, I knew him from and then like you're all pent up with lies and freaking out. Just be like, yes, we used to go out and sleep together, but it wasn't for very long. It wasn't serious, and I was bracing myself because I was like, what kind of fucking freak did Charlotte bring home today? What like because she had been like, he really respects my boundaries and we haven't had sex yet, and I was like, oh no, oh sweet baby, no, what is he planning for you? What is he planning? Was he Armie Hammer? He's gonna ask to eat your ribs? What the fuck's gonna happen? And it turned out he just had low libido from Prozac and that he had slept with Carrie, and I was like, this is the least freaky dude she's ever brought home, thank God. Oh God.
Well, because my first thought was like, oh, he fucking somebody else.
Yeah,
because ain't no way he's like, he's like one of the few actually handsome men that they've shown on this show.
Oh my God, I know. Again, I hate to pick up people's looks, but
I mean, listen,
they cast a weird collection of dudes.
We have eyeballs.
Seasons.
Don't ever feel bad. Listen, physical attraction is an important factor in attraction. Period. Because the first thing you see is that person. You don't see their personality right off the bat, or like how warm or considerate they are. Like you find that out later after speaking to them. Yeah. So that's okay. Don't worry about it. But I
don't want to pick on actors who were cast. Look, it feels.
No, that's not. Listen. You can look how you look. But like, if you're supposed to be hot guy number 1 and you show up looking like average guy number 6, I can't really get into your character if you're supposed to be a hot guy, and I'm supposed to believe that you're a hot guy, and I don't see you as a hot guy. So,
that's fair. Okay,
you know what I'm saying?
You're a working actor. I'll take your word for it. I tried to be all diplomatic but look, look, what I'm trying to say is, and I'm not the only one who said it, is these first couple seasons, dudes they cast for like all these hot dates, fucking weird looking collection of dudes. And I'm not alone in that, so I don't feel that bad.
So far the season has only been like, I could probably count on one hand how many like truly handsome men have been on the show. And Timothy Olyphant is one of them.
Timothy Olyphant, Justin Theroux, maybe?
Justin Theroux, I get you.
Who's not quite my type, but like I can get it.
I see, I wouldn't, if I was a woman, I wouldn't personally go for it, but I see why women find him attractive. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that's what my first thought was like, oh, he fucking somebody else. That's why, like, she about to find out, like, she gonna come home and see this motherfucker in bed with somebody else.
He's gonna be like, I'm into like shit play, Charlotte. What do you want from me? And then it was like, all he wants to do is not have sex, as it turns out, because he's got like crazy low libido from Prozac. And he's okay with that. And then that was hilarious that Charlotte was like, you would think Charlotte would kind of maybe be okay with that, and when she was like, no, I want that dick in me now. Dude, like, Charlotte.
Dude, that's
when you're horny, I guess.
Well, that's the funny thing about it is because it still kind of kept going with her her track record, low-key, because she keeps finding these great guys, and it's always like one thing that keeps her from going the distance or like fully committing, and it's always something weirdly sexual. And actually none of it was really, I mean, most of the guys, like, if we go down the line, it wasn't like crazy, but it was just over her boundaries. Like,
it was over her boundary.
She wasn't into it, and so it was wild. But like that was kind of, it was still kind of kept with her there. But I felt bad for her though, because like towards the end of the episode, she was trying to please him and like give him a hand job.
It's like hours long hand job.
First of all, Charlotte, are you 12? Like, most guys are gonna get off from a hand job anyway, especially grown ass men, especially a sex addict or
former
sex maniac or former. So it's like, he ain't coming off of that. Like, what are you doing? But like, I felt bad for her because I was in a relationship for a time, and at the beginning of the relationship, it was like weird because I was on antidepressants and anxiety medicine, and that shit does fuck with you. Like, because here's the thing, it's either two things. One, you just don't have any kind of libido, or you can get hard, but you can never come. So you literally can go for like hours, but like, and it feels good, but nothing, like every time, like it's so frustrating to a guy too, because like you're having sex and it feels good and you're like, oh shit, it's about to happen, and then it just starts all over again.
Oh no!
With nothing happening, like you're still doing the same thing you were doing 10 seconds ago that was feeling good to get you to the point, but your body just like, nah, we're not doing it. Don't worry.
Which is weirdly connected to Samantha's thing with the tantric celibate guy.
Yeah, the yoga instructor. What was his name? I can't
remember. Siddhartha. Which I don't know if that's that guy's like real name, because I think that's the name of a book about like also a Buddha thing. I'm stepping it because now I did not Google that before, so I'm gonna just move on. But anyway, I don't think that was that guy's name, is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, they called him Siddhartha, which I think is like a cheeky reference to the book that I'm referring to that I read in high school, and now I can't remember a damn thing about it. Anyway, his whole description was wild about like, never actually getting off, but just like years of foreplay basically. It's just
well, that was the like his character was low-key kind of cool, because I understand, like, now my man said he ain't had sex in 3 years. Power to you, couldn't do it, not by choice, at least. Like, circumstance, that's one thing, but so power to you for having that kind of discipline, especially considering his past, because he was another guy that apparently morning, noon, night, let's gotta have it 3-4 times a day, you know what I'm saying? And because he even said it, like, I used to have sex morning,
he said morning, noon, night,
and I was
sometimes
still
different
one
people.
more after that. I was like, damn, my man was out here. But yeah, 3 years of like keeping it was, and okay, maybe I'm crazy or maybe
Hmm.
I'm weird, but low key, I was kind of turned on by the scene of there when he was like trying to show her the tantric
Oh yeah, I think well there was like
practices,
an
and he
intimacy
was
to
hard, and
that.
she was like,
Yeah.
"But it's hard." I was like, "Oh shit, they
Yeah,
about
yeah.
to fuck."
There was like an intimacy to it that
Yeah,
I could be like attractive and like, and that's part the tantric part is just about like things going for a long time, which is why
yeah,
like the tantric sex thing is appealing
yeah,
because it is like a deeper connection thing while you're also being physical. So
yeah.
yeah, I can see why that is. And then I thought it was funny that Samantha almost masturbated, and I was like, well, I guess I'll not do it because he's not doing it,
Yeah.
you know.
But then she just said, "Fuck
Then
it,"
she
and
was like,
did.
fuck this. And then she was like, the first dude who said yes in the yoga class, she was like, see ya, I'm going.
Well, it's so fun. That's why I say, because like it's so funny. That's why I kind of like Samantha. And well, one,
Yeah.
two, she was dropping some gems in this
Yeah, yeah.
episode. Like, yeah, she always drops a few a little knowledge darts, but then like reverts back to being like uh psycho. But it's yeah. But she, that's the kind of great thing about it was like she kind of turned into a guy. She has that because, like, the guy was talking, the yoga guy was talking about how, most of that his actions in the past were all about ego, and
Yeah.
that's usually kind of what it is when you got a guy who like sleeps around a lot, stuff like that. It's like an
Hmm.
ego thing. It's like a validation thing, and low key Samantha is kind of like that. You know what I
Oh,
mean? Like
yeah,
a lot
yeah.
of her. I mean, and not. I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm not saying like a woman that sleeps around as a hoe and all that shit. I'm not. That's not the
Yeah.
context of which I'm saying. I'm just saying that. Uh, that's it's kind of like a guy action of like sleeping with a
Hmm.
bunch of women and like for validation for like to feel secure in
Yeah.
themselves
Yeah.
and her like in this guy not being that and her being that in this episode was a great contrast of
Yeah.
different priorities and different ways of viewing because like yeah not all guys are out there like trying to sling dick everywhere like some
Yeah.
guys have a
And
little more
it's
control.
funny because she has said like, oh, I like having sex like a man in the sense that she doesn't get attached and
Mm-hmm.
she does her own thing. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
And low key that was a man thing just like all right first person that says yes can get it.
Yeah.
And also that was kind of
That
a
was a
little
fuck you
jab
to
at him. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
the
She's like, well,
yoga
you don't want
guy.
to fuck me? I'm gonna get this guy to fuck me one time.
I
And
will
now you
take
know.
fucking whomever.
Yeah. Which is almost what Miranda did,
Almost
but
picked up that guy on that cat calling construction worker.
yeah.
So
Stereotypical New York construction worker,
yeah.
by the way.
Hey, I can't even remember all the dumb shit he
Hey, I got
says.
what you need. She's
Yeah,
like, oh, you
yeah,
got
I
what I
just kept
need?
yeah.
And what I want and need? I need to get laid and I want to get laid. What's good with that dick? He's
And
like,
he's like, I'm
my bad,
married.
ma. My bad, ma. My bad.
Yeah, people have a what do you call it?
Well, that's the thing too. He's married. Like, so you out here just fronting, which is so funny because a
Hmm.
lot of married women are the biggest flirts. If you,
Oh yeah, yeah.
married women, because like they don't really got to do nothing. So like low key, that's why I kind of like that's why I like this show so much. I'm enjoying it because they always show contrasts of like
Yeah,
different attributes of like what's stereotypically a woman's actions
yeah.
are put on a man and vice versa. And I love that because like I was looking at that, I was like, oh, dude was flirting like a married woman because a lot of married women will like flirt hardcore and because they know they don't have to do anything like like
Yeah,
I'm married blah blah. Now if a guy doesn't know you're married, of course they're gonna keep coming at you, which is how you get yourself in trouble. So
yeah,
don't flirt at all. But it's like it was just like a flirting for validation, like
yeah.
just to make sure like they still got it. And he was kind of doing the same thing, just like I'm flirting with
Or he
this
could have
girl.
just been a piece of shit who doesn't treat women well at all. Just because he's married doesn't mean he's a good dude.
Well, that was another thing. I'm like, so you out here married, but you
Yeah, you're
still hitting on.
married.
But that's the thing too. Is like, okay, so you're out here flirting, you're married, but you won't cheat on your wife, like, because like Miranda was
I
ready,
wouldn't call what he was doing flirting. He's catcalling. It's an aggressive power move thing.
right?
And people have said, as time's gone on and everyone realized a little more, we always knew catcalling was bad, but like it
Yeah,
was how do you deal with it, and that has not always been a recommendation, I would say, but like I've read a lot of samples of women who have said like I just started screaming back or acting fucking crazy, and it really shuts things down,
that's
and
what Miranda
that's
did.
what Miranda did.
But she just called him on his shit. She was like,
Yeah.
"What's good? Like you okay? You saying that you can tear it up? Let's walk the walk. You talking the talk, walk the walk, and do cower like a motherfucker." Well, that's the whole point. It's like, all right, so like, either you're a guy who cheats on his wife, or you're not. Because like, why are you doing all the catcalling if you ain't gonna go through it? If you ain't a man about your word, then why are you catcalling? But it defeats the purpose of catcalling.
Because he doesn't see women as people. He just yelling shit at him.
Well, that's the funny thing about catcalling in general. I always wonder what guys think or what they would really do if a girl's like, okay.
That's what I'm saying is like, women who have been catcalled and yelled at, they like stop and turn around and be like, yeah, you want to do this? And then they're like, because it is all bravado.
Yeah.
It's a power move to just make the guy feel better and make the woman feel worse, frankly. It's, people are like, oh, if you get catcalled on the street, don't you feel attractive? No, because I'm being screamed at by a fucking stranger. There's nothing hot about that. There's nothing like
well, that's what I'm saying. Like guys that do that, they're like guys. They're like they're like dogs chasing cars. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like if they actually caught it, they wouldn't know what they would do. They just chase after it because like that's what they do. And I think that's the same thing with guys that catcall. It's like you're catcalling, but if a woman actually was like, "Hey, let's get it on," what would you do? And clearly he was a bitch. Oh, that was my phone. Okay. And it's so funny too because like I also think. A guy catcalling, if the girl's like down, like I would be a little scared too, because like, wait, this works? I don't know if I want to be with this person because she might be a murderer.
You could like come to my house. That's what women are thinking when they're being catcalled. This person's probably a murderer.
That's also fair. I do not disagree with that. I understand the threat of it of that nature. You know what I'm saying? But like. Yeah, because clearly this guy, he was just a bitch. So fucking, I was pissed off about that. I was like, you had a chance to get you a nice piece of ass.
Also, did you not low key miss Blockbuster for a hot minute? I did. I miss the video store, man.
I do too, man. Yeah, that was like, man, I do miss that going to get because like that was a tradition that my mom had every Friday. We would get a bunch of like. Scary movies, like not like some of them were good, some of them were bad, but most of the time we get like B, C.
Oh, I loved the best.
That's what we'd watch. But the funny thing is, my mom, as soon as he turned it on, like 2 minutes into the movie, she's out. So it really be for us. Yeah, we're like, hey, Mom, like, but the fucking thing is, she would choose the movies, but it's like, Mom, you're not even gonna watch it. She literally goes to me every single time. Every Friday, we get like she goes, like she'd come home from work, she'd take us to Blockbuster. She pick all the movies. We used to get 3 movies. She would pick 2 of them and let us pick the third. And we picked the one that she wanted to watch. 5 minutes in, out like a light.
Yeah,
she'd wake up like something every now and then and be like, "I wasn't asleep." Yes, you were. We heard you snoring. Yeah.
I know my mom's done that too. She's like, "I've been awake this whole movie." I'm like, "Really? Then what happened?"
Right, and then she's like, "Man, go on somewhere. Just watch the movie." That's what she would say. Turn around, you're missing the movie. Oh, we're missing.
Oh, I'm missing the movie.
Yeah. Oh, we're missing.
Oh, it's the credits, Mom. Yeah.
Oh. So if we're missing the movie with our eyes open, you must be missing everything with your eyes closed. Like you're missing life, motherfucker.
Yeah. But I miss wandering through because it's not this. Wandering through and like picking it up and looking at it is so different than like clicking through Netflix and whatnot.
Yeah.
And just
not
it's also
deciding. Another way of low-key kind of interacting, you know what I mean? Like I made like especially as a kid, like I made friends at Blockbuster because we were there so often, and I guess other people like I were there often as we were, you know what I'm saying? Because that was like kind of the Friday night almost guaranteed.
Bump into people and be like, you renting shit, me too.
Yeah, every Friday, most people were going to Blockbuster to rent movies. Like that was kind of the normal thing across the nation. Like everybody did it, Yeah.
And as a big old movie nerd, I used to dream of working at a video store.
I actually did.
Or a movie theater. Fuck. I'm like the only person who didn't. It's not fair. I wanted it so bad.
I worked at Blockbuster for about 3 or 4 months right before I went to the Marines.
Bastard.
Yeah. It wasn't just trust me. You think it's awesome?
I know it's not. Look, I know it's not Clerks. and chill and laid back. I know it's not that. I'm not an idiot. I just wanted to work at one anyway.
No, I mean, here's the thing. Of all the jobs I've ever had, it was definitely one of like the most chill jobs I had. Because really most of it was like the most annoying thing was at the time of I didn't work in the time of video cassettes. I worked in the time of when everything was DVDs video games. So the only thing that was really annoying was like, you know, people coming in complaining about shit that I couldn't do anything about, and then like having to reorganize the shelves after a bunch of kids came in, just like putting shit whatever the fuck they want to do, and knocking shit over or spilling some shit. But that was pretty much it. It was actually a pretty lax job, and it was kind of boring because like if it's a Tuesday, who's written shit on Tuesday? Most people not, even though they had specials, but like most people come in on a Friday or Saturday to rent shit. So like, or a Thursday maybe, because I know Thursdays was right before Blockbuster was about to be done. Thursdays was like the big, you know, it was like 30% all rentals or some shit like that. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Other than that, you just like, cool, I'm here, doing nothing.
I missed the answers. Anyway, back to the show. But what do you call it? And then Carrie and Big do eventually make up. Though, because he like doesn't call her, but she doesn't call him, and I like when he finally shows up at her apartment, and she's like, "You didn't call." He's like, "You didn't call either, so don't put that on me."
Man, oh my god, he said that line. I was like, "Fuck, I gotta give him his props." Like that was that was the moment where I was like, "Fuck, I gotta give him props for this episode," because he was actually pretty. You know, he wasn't gaslighting Carrie like he usually does and making her go crazy. And that line right there, he's like, "Why didn't you call?"
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like phones do work both ways, no matter what era they go into. They always work both ways.
They
you know,
do.
Even you go to the Mac phone with the fucking earpiece, and they work both ways. You can make and receive calls. There's never been a time when the telephone was invented that you could only make calls or call out. That was, you know, so.
So I guess this is the first time he's been to her apartment. Which is surprising.
Yeah.
Because they've been together a while now.
Yeah. I was wondering. I was like, yo, and that's what, because I keep every time the last few episodes, because they've been together for what, like the last 4 episodes or so.
Yeah.
Maybe a little longer, but. And they never say how long they've been together.
Yeah, like, time's like, a little in flux there.
Well, because like when they first kind of get together, the episode where they were talking about like Carrie basically disappearing from their lives and stuff like that, you know, I was like, okay, that's probably like month 1 or 2, and then it's been at least 2 or 3 episodes since that.
And Miranda says it's been 3 months, and had dated other dudes and things. So it's been, we'll say 6 months, maybe.
And
feels safe.
Like, how have you not been to her place? I've been at least, I was gonna say that too, like at least 6 months if we're trying to piece together the timeline.
Yeah.
And how have you never been to her place at 6 months? Like, I feel like that's a red flag. I'm sorry. I don't know which for who though. I don't know.
I don't know.
Or is it on her?
Yeah, is it that he doesn't care enough to come over and see where she lives and be part of her space?
Right.
Or is she hiding something? I mean, she's not.
No.
But like, because him coming over was, the whole metaphor was like, oh, I like your space, aka you, just the way you are. Haha, you know. Blah blah blah.
That was cute. I guess. That's
cute. It was nice.
I mean, you know, that and the whoopee cushion, he kind of got points again.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to say it, but there.
And they make up or whatever. Although I think she's renting, so it's kind of bold to paint your fucking kitchen. But I mean,
hey, I mean,
my old roommate.
It's kind of bold.
My old roommate really wanted to paint the bathroom and the kitchen of the place we lived at, and I was like, we're renting this place, and I will not participate in that. And you can deal with any fallout that comes with it.
Right.
And there really wasn't any other than he painted it one way, and I think the building manager was like, he didn't really paint it right, and then painted it back. Long story short, I think he lost like $100 off the security deposit. I was like, fine. He also fucked me over on the move, so I don't really care what happened. But
I feel that.
Painting a rental is a bold move.
Yeah, any kind
but you know what? That's Carrie, man. She just does what
that's
she
what I'm saying.
fucking wants.
It fits her
It does fit.
personality. Yeah, her doing that. Plus, she was like freaking out anyway because of all this situation. But yeah, I was wondering that like, cause 6 months is a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Now here's the thing, cause I mean, I'm going off of my own experience. I was in a relationship where 9 times out of 10, if we were seeing each other, 9 times out of 10 had to go to said person's apartment, like pretty much all the time, and not by me not inviting them or saying that they can't come over or whatever. They just prefer to not be.
Yeah, I don't. It's
not that I have a bad apartment. It's a great apartment, but like I don't know. I guess I don't know if it was like a bougie thing or a comfort thing. I don't know what it was, but most of the time that we spent together was usually at her place.
Yeah, and I could see that. I mean, Carrie's kind of in a studio apartment. It's not really a proper 1-bedroom exactly.
That's a big ass apartment.
It is.
That could be a 1-bedroom. Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Because I'm in a studio and it is small, and I have not had a dude over here, and I am okay with that though, because it is like so fucking tiny that like my mom stayed here when I was going through cancer treatment stuff, and it was like by the time she left I was like, get the fuck out, I love you but fucking leave.
Right. Yeah,
because it's just not enough room.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, maybe Carrie felt that way, but as you mentioned, it is quite spacious. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know who's a red flag for, because it could be her, like always wanting to go to his place because it's nicer, or it could be him, like you said, maybe not caring enough about her. Because that's the one thing too that it threw me off, because earlier in the episode, and when she was painting her kitchen, talking to Miranda, she was like, this is a guy I think I might be in love with, and I'm freaking out because we're not having sex. I'm like, wait, so you're in love with this person and he ain't even seen your place?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't know who's the red. Like I said again, I don't know who the red flag is for, but that's a big red flag. Y'all been fucking around or dating exclusively for what we can see for at least 6 months, if not longer, and he ain't seen your place. What's up with that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Well, that's not. I mean, but you know how I feel about this relationship anyway. It's toxic.
It's messed up, and I mean, it's definitely messed up because she's also tells Miranda in that scene she does not act like herself around Big. She's a different Carrie. She poses and she's exhausted, and Miranda rightfully says, then stop doing all that. Just
she's like obsessed. Yeah, like when she said I may be in love, it's like I don't know if you're in love with him. It sounds like you're more just obsessed, because like whatever, like he fits maybe your ideals of what a perfect man is, and like now you're obsessed with this guy, and like that's not a good sign. That's not a good look.
No, and that will be a problem for the entire series.
I mean, that's a problem, period.
It's a problem in real life, and it is a problem for the series. But yeah, like if if you don't act like yourself around someone, then they're not really the right person for you, because like they should like who you actually are.
Right.
And so they should like you if you fart in bed.
Right. Well, that's the thing too. Is
I hope my future partner's prepared to talk about poop.
Right. Well, that's the thing. What I have noticed about the times where I have given Big props is like when when he's not gaslighting her and making her freak out. The times where she's like freaking out of her own volition and not being her regular self, that seems to be like the time when he's like, yo, why are you doing like happened to like that cool person that I was just with like 2 minutes ago? Why are you flipping out? And like that's where I go into like the obsession thing, because it's like I don't know what, like she seems to be confused between love and obsession.
Yeah, and she's got a case of the tryhards, like trying way too hard to fit. What I think he has never even said like, oh, I wish you were more like this or acted. He's never, when they met, like she was kind of quirky and offbeat, and that's what he seemed to like about her.
Yeah,
and if she's changing that, then that might have been why he was pulling away too. Like this is not who I initially liked when we started going out. This kind of, funny, but, smart, but kind of odd, quirky person. and if she's trying like posing when she's around him, yeah, that's fucking weird. You know, you would be turned off if someone was acting that fake around you all the time.
Well, yeah, I mean, like that. I mean, that's what I mean, because that's where I think some people, both sides, men and women, I think when you be like, when you're in love with somebody, uh, there's a difference between being in love with them and being obsessed. And I think when you become obsessive because you put this person on a pedestal,
yeah,
and you feel like you have to like strive to get them.
Yeah.
And when you start striving to get somebody, it seems you know, we may not be able to notice it on a conscious level, but subconsciously it's like, why are you being so desperate? Why are you like applying for my love? Like, I love you just the way you are. Why are you trying to put on this? Like, why are you driving yourself crazy, putting things in the world that's not there? Like, we're not.
Yeah, like it's crazy that she
didn't exist 4 months ago. Now we're 4 months in, and this is coming out, and that's why people view it as crazy, because it's like, it is kind of crazy. Like, why are you acting so? Like,
yeah. Well, and like that she keeps insisting he's perfect and has this perfect life, and it's like, what is she even? Is it that he's got money, so he's living comfortably? He doesn't really have a perfect life. He got divorced.
Right.
He, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know what he does. You know, you never really get a sense of what he does for work. He does business. I don't know.
He does business. He does business. I mean, yeah, that's kind of all the information we got right now.
Yeah, that's the impression I got. Is he just does business stuff. You know. So who knows what's going on with that? It's very weird that she thinks he's like perfect.
Yeah.
And that she's like a huge mess. And I was like,
well, that's the thing. Like I said, you put people on a pedestal, that doesn't give any room for error. So like, if he fucks up, it's always a big deal. Like, smallest thing, like him doing the whoopee cushion thing, was like a big mess up in her mind. Like, she thought he was like,
insulting her,
betrayed. Yeah, she was like he was insulting her. He was like, no, I'm just letting you know, like, it's cool. Like, I like you. Like, we're
I like you, farts and all,
farts and all, yeah. Yeah, because he even made a joke right after she farted, because she like went under the covers. He's like, oh, it's gonna be worse over there. I thought that was hilarious.
I was like, that's so cute. He's adorable right now.
Said it to me, and I farted in front of him. Like, I'm marrying this girl.
Like, that's so cute.
Yeah.
But she's all weird and crazy.
Yeah. But that's the thing. It's like, I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's like, I don't know if she actually, I mean, I guess and you know, later on in the journey, we'll know for sure. But right now, it doesn't seem like she actually, it seems like when she met him, she saw him as this like majestic creature.
Yeah.
And now she's trying to like live in that same world, but you can't, because that's not the person that you made up, doesn't exist.
Yeah.
He's a regular dude who's like somewhat successful in his business and like trying to navigate through life and making mistakes the same way you are. And you're like trying to make yourself perfect to fit his image when he's not even portraying that image. He's not trying to be Mr. Perfect. You know what I mean?
He's just Mr. Big.
He's just Mr.
Big. And she's the one who calls him Mr. Big.
Mm-hmm.
He has a real name, which you learn at the very end of the show. I won't tell you what it is.
Roger.
Rumpelstiltskin. Plot twist. He was after he was after her firstborn baby.
I feel like he's
drawn to gold.
He looks like a Roger. Or a Ronald. He could be a Ronald. I can see him being a Ronald. No, I'm way off. Ah, shit. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Yeah, but like her behavior this episode was like, wow, man. She was really out there.
But speaking of out there, before we go, gotta talk about the couple fucking in the window, no curtains on display, and her inviting people over to watch it.
Yo, who I was surprised that was there? Charlotte.
Oh yeah, me too. But I guess she's
not only was she there, she was enjoying it.
She was into it.
She was all about it. She was like,
she's a little freak, I think.
She's like, why haven't we done this before?
She's just repressed.
I mean, that's the wild thing about her, is like, and that's why it was so weird that she was there and enjoying it, because like all these other guys she's been with that's had like these weird sexual, or to her, in her eyes, these weird sexual quirks.
Yeah.
And this bitch is watching a couple across the way have sex. Judgmental much? You're pot calling the kettle over.
Disgusting.
Not only was she watching, the bitch was watching and eating gummy worms. Come on. Oh, sorry, gummy bears.
Yeah, gummy bears.
Keep it real.
She was
keep it factual.
on board for it. Yeah. We haven't had anyone comment, but I dread a corrections corner we'll eventually have to make on something. I don't know what it will be, but it'll be something. Oh, well, I know one. I'll correction corner myself.
Yeah.
I was wrong, and I said Ed Harris was sexiest man alive in 1998. It was in fact Harrison Ford. I did not click through on the Google link. It just highlighted Harris, so there's Harrison Ford and Ed Harris. So
gotcha.
Just that's been weighing on me for like 2 weeks, so I just really had to get that off my chest.
I mean, I don't think anybody's gonna like eat your lunch for that, but it's always good to clear things up.
The internet is not kind, so
that is true. You're not wrong.
I wanted to clarify that. But anyway, yeah. About that. But all I could think was that couple should get some curtains.
Honestly, I think that they're aware that.
Oh, they're totally aware. They don't give a fuck. They're probably getting off on the fact that no one of the neighbors can see.
Well, also too, like, they were talking about the couple and they were saying like, dude was still hard. It had been an hour, so like, that's a flex. He was like,
they're like, it's. And they kept saying, she kept referring to it as the evening and afternoon show, and I'm sure that couple was like, it's showtime. Let's go.
Well, speaking of which, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't know women as much as I thought I did, but I feel like an hour of sex would be uncomfortable for a woman.
Depends what they're doing.
Well, like if it's all penetration, right?
Yeah, I think
after an hour
that would not.
Yeah.
But I think they were doing like
it was mostly penetration. Like I don't know if they were like
but they were doing. It looked like they were doing a bunch of weird acrobatic shit too. So maybe.
But that's what I'm saying. Like an hour of that. So you put that kind of friction. I don't care if you're both turned on. Chafing is gonna happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's like even if you're you go away for a weekend and you're doing it like 2 or 3 times in a weekend. At some point in the weekend, you can be like, hey, get the fuck up off me. Like
please, it hurts.
Like I can't do this anymore.
Do you ever watch Futurama?
Nah.
There's a whole thing.
Episodes here or there, but
there's a whole thing where there's death by snoo, which is
that's the one episode I've seen.
Yeah. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak.
Well, here's the thing, because I know as a guy, right, like after like 2 or 3 sessions, low-key a boner hurts. Like getting a boner after like 3 times is like it's a little bit painful. So if my man's over here having sex at an hour at a time and they're doing it multiple times a day, like my God,
they're juicing.
Like you put steroids in your dick. Because
ironically, I think don't steroids make you not horny?
I never done steroids. I don't know. I mean, I hear that it's supposed to shrink your testicles.
But yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Which I guess, if your testicles are shrunken, that would kill your libido because that is an important factor. But size of testicles, I didn't know that. But like size of testicles does implement how virile you are in the bedroom. So yeah, if they're smaller, I would assume that you're probably not out there slanging mad penis. But apparently this dude has the elephant ball sack.
Maybe they're doing tantric stuff.
Maybe
that would explain the longevity.
I low-key thought the yoga instructor was gonna walk in and join him. I was about to be like, oh man. So yeah, but very, very interesting episode. It was a good flip on its head of the power of sex. It was kind of like, we had the power of sex on the women's side episode, and now we kind of had the power of sex on the man's side for this episode. Yeah,
there's a bunch of horny weirdos in this episode. I'll begging for it.
Oh man, all these women were horned up.
They were ready.
But now I would say 2 of the women were horned up for validation, and then one of them was I feel like Miranda and Samantha were horned up because they were horned up. Like Miranda for sure, because she ain't got none in 3 months.
I was gonna say, like Miranda, I get it.
Yeah,
I get wanting a dude. Trust me. But also, you were the one who was like, "Yeah, the rabbit fucking rocks," and I'm like, "Just use your fucking rabbit." But then she mentioned offhand that she was getting carpal tunnel, and I was like, "Oh, is that from using the rabbit too much?"
Using the rabbit.
Yeah, you're not using it. You're going in old school.
Yeah.
That's what the technology's for, man.
Yeah. So technology
makes your life
Samantha
easier.
was low key. I feel like theirs was like
genuinely
genuinely like horny, wanted to have some.
Yeah.
Part of it was ego with Samantha because the dude
yeah.
was like, I haven't had sex for 3 years.
And she was like, I will conquer that Everest.
Yeah.
Get me a Sherpa, we're going in.
Carrie was definitely ego and validation. And same thing with Charlotte too, because like, you know, as she was a little bit jealous, she was like, wait, hold on, you were fucking my friend, but like you don't want to fuck me?
Yeah.
Like it was like an insecure thing.
There was a little of that, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And she was excited by the idea that he was quote unquote a sex maniac.
Mm-hmm.
So
well, because she thought, but the thing though, it fucked her up because she was like, she thought like, oh, I'm just so special that he's like curbing that in him for me. And then when she found out it wasn't, she was like, wait, I'm not. Oh no, like
sex demon.
No, I'm getting that. Dick. I'm getting that cum. You would not hold yourself back for me. Fuck that. Yeah. So it was wild, but it was a good episode. It was fun. Had a lot of drop some gems in there. You know, Samantha was out here dropping knowledge. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that was like it was like a pacifistic type, but she did say one thing. She said normal is the halfway point between what you want and what you can get, and I thought that was a little bit profound. That was very interesting.
I guess that's true. Like, I don't know.
It could be cynical. Yeah, it could be a cynical view on life, but I don't know if it's cynical. Like I feel like
I think normal's the compromise you come to. And if it's a regular thing, then I guess it's normal.
Right. Yeah. That's fair. That's fair. So yeah.
Before we go, a couple exciting things. So next week we'll be covering the season finale of Sex and the City. We've done it from season 1. Yeah. Then the following week, we're going to be joined by the lovely ladies of Crush Fictionally for a movie episode, movie TBD. But I think we're going to have them pick something you and I haven't seen. The plan?
We're trying to.
And then to kick off season 2 of Sex and the City, we're going to have the also lovely ladies from Enough Wicker, which is a Golden Girls podcast, come on and talk with us. And they are very academic, so they are a lot smarter than you and I. We're all right, but they've got like actual academia in their back pocket, and they're gonna bring some knowledge there. So a lot of exciting things coming up. So please continue to listen to our show.
Yeah, hopefully
you can find.
Well, you know what? We're gonna keep it simple. It simple. Just find us on Instagram and show me what podcast, and all of our links are.
All the links are there.
So every YouTube, platform we're on, YouTube,
whatever podcast thing. Again, subscribe and please leave reviews. That is very helpful, I'm told. So
yes, and if you want to find me individually, you can find me at Mack Diddy Combs, MackDiddyCombs, and you can find
me at Elizabeth Movies.
Gang. All right, that's it, guys. Thank you for listening, and thank you for watching. If you're watching on YouTube. Peace out.
Sorry about all the color changes with the lights. Not a lot I can do right now. All right.
Bang.